We continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 3, text 23. Yadi hi aham na varteyam jatu karmani adandritaha mama vartamanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. For if I ever fail to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Parth, certainly all men would follow my path. So Krishna has been saying that he has nothing to do. He's been saying in these past few verses, there's no duty for him to do. He's totally self-sufficient. He doesn't need anything from outside for his needs. He's totally independent. But what is he saying? When he comes in this human form, as he came 5,000 years ago, he came in his human form. Then he was, because he came, then he has to do his duties. He's representing, okay, I'm a king, I'm a husband. No, so he was perfectly performing his duties. I'm a son. Perfectly, he's performing all the duties. Because he knows if he doesn't do his duty, everyone will say, oh, Krishna didn't do it, why shall I do it? So in order to keep the balance of social tranquility for progress in spiritual life, there are traditional family usages meant for every civilized man. So now why there are these traditional family usages? For a balance of social tranquility, for progress in spiritual life. For every civilized man. So why do we have this social structure? Why do we have this family structure? So because it's for civilized men. It's for civilized men. And why is that? Why? So that society is peaceful. Society is peaceful. All the needs of the body are met. And at the same time, there is enough opportunity to cultivate spiritual life, to progress in spiritual life, which is the main goal actually. So, but we can see right now in Kali Yuga, because of this imbalance, there is a great imbalance in this family tradition. There's a great imbalance in the society. And that's the reason there's a great imbalance in spiritual progress. So although such rules and regulations are for the conditioned souls and not Lord Krishna, because he descended to establish the principles of religion, he followed the prescribed rules. So he says, yada yada hi dharmasya, that I come to reestablish the religious principles. So he followed them. He followed them perfectly. Whatever role he was playing, he plays them perfectly. Otherwise, common men would follow in his footsteps because he is the greatest authority. There is no greater authority than Lord Krishna. We all have a certain authority, certain power, maybe over our family, over our employees or colleagues, or over, if we are a politician, over a certain area, district, nation, country, planet, universe. Lord Brahma, he has the power over the universe, but who's the greatest authority? The greatest authority is Sri Krishna Bhagavan. There is no greater authority than Krishna. From the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is understood that Lord Krishna was performing all the religious duties at home and out of home as required of a householder. So he was playing perfect part of a householder, Krishna. And so he's telling Arjun, you also play your part. You're a Kshatriya, you fight. Don't go to the forest. This is a bit long. So maybe we'll read a little bit of this. Utsi deyur imelo kana kuryam karma ched aham sankarasya chakartasyam upahanyam ima prajaha. If I did not perform prescribed duties, all these worlds would be put into ruination. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings. So now Krishna is saying, why does he perform the prescribed duties? Because everyone, if they follow a wrong example, Krishna is the greatest authority. Everyone follows Krishna. Even the greatest demigods, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, they all follow Krishna. Then he's saying, if I don't do my duty, then everything will be ruined. There will be unwanted population. There will not be peace in society. Varna Sankara is unwanted population, which disturbs the peace of the general society. Unwanted population, which disturbs the peace of the general society. In order to check this social disturbance, there are prescribed rules and regulations by which the population can automatically become peaceful and organized for spiritual progress in life. So that's the reason the Vedic injunctions are there, so that we follow them. Why? So we can become peaceful. We don't get so much anxiety, we don't have so much unrest in each of us, and so society as a large can be peaceful. And then when we are peaceful, we can progress in our spiritual life. When Lord Krishna descends, naturally he deals with such rules and regulations in order to maintain the prestige and necessity of such important performances. So he practically shows us, oh, these are important to follow. He follows them himself to show that they are important to follow. The Lord is the father of all living entities, and if the living entities are misguided, indirectly the responsibility goes to the Lord. So Krishna, he's the father of us all. All living entities, we come from him. He's the father of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Ganesh Ji, Durga Devi, anyone, everyone has their origin in Krishna. So then now, if we are misguided, then the responsibility goes to the Lord. Oh, he didn't teach his children properly. You know, we see, oh, a child is misbehaving. Oh, the father didn't teach you properly. Like that. Therefore, whenever there is general disregard of regulative principles, the Lord himself descends and corrects the society. So now this is the reason why Krishna is coming to correct disregard of regulative principles. When we say we don't want to follow, we don't want to follow the rules and regulations. Like we live in a particular country, we have to follow the rules and regulations of that country to be able to have peaceful life, so that each citizen can be peaceful. That's the reason there is laws of the country. So Krishna also made laws for this material world so that we could be peaceful. We should, however, note carefully that although we have to follow in the footsteps of the Lord, we still have to remember that we cannot imitate him. Following and imitating are not on the same level. We get confused. We don't understand what is it to follow and what is it to imitate. We take one for another. We can't imitate Krishna. We can't expand 16,000 times and have 16,000 wives and 16,000 palaces. He did that. And he married the 16,000 queens at the same time. Not that one after another, and he took 16 years to do that, 16,000 years to do that. No. At the same time, in the same wedding place, you know, he was there personally. So we can't imitate him. We have to follow his footsteps. Following and imitating are not on the same level. We cannot imitate the Lord by lifting Govardhan Hill, as the Lord did in his childhood. Yeah. You know, can we lift up the Govardhan Hill? Krishna was just a child, 7 years old. He lifted it for 7 days, 7 nights on the pinky of his left hand pinky. It is impossible for any human being. We have to follow his instructions, but we may not imitate him at any time. So we have to follow what he's teaching us. We don't have to imitate Krishna because we are not God. Should we stop here for today or not?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining in. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Bol.